Hello there, people. Um, I've noticed, there's been a lot of uh, really naff TV shows and modern series and movies out lately, uh, both at the cinema and on streaming services. A lot of people mooning over many different things. There's a few exceptions. Maverick, a lot of people loved that. Strange Things season 4, a lot of people enjoyed that. So I thought I'd talk about a particular film I enjoyed, and I'd like to share this for the simple reason because I follow a few YouTubers myself. Some you may not have heard of, and some that you may have heard of, and listening to them and their recommendations, I've given a few of these things a try that I wouldn't normally, and I really enjoyed them. Example, Cobra Kai, and I first saw a trailer to that way back. I just thought, oh no, what are they doing? I thought it was going to be some really, really cheap ass, bad high school drama. I really, really did, and then I watched somebody who did a review of it, and just listening to what they, sparked my interest, and I thought, well, if this particular person, because I'd watched a few of their reviews and given a few of their things that what they suggested to try and liked, so I had quite a bit of faith in them, and Cobra Kai was, I think it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It was like as soon as one episode ended, it was like, I've now got to watch the second one. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about Cobra Kai. A film that I watched a few years ago, and this era of, the amount of crap that we're getting. It's actually, it's basically been going on since the end of the 90s, really. They're just, the amount of crap far outweighs the amount of good stuff, But I was working at the time in a job where the travelling was a bit of an issue, and the hours were different all the time, very long hours, and days, it wasn't like a 9 to 5, it was different all the time. It was hard to plan days off, and finishing really late at night and working all day. It was awkward. I didn't get a lot of time during them couple of years to really watch many things. Not that there was many things that I'd seen that I really wanted to watch, but anyway, Saturday one day, I think I had a week off work and not much to do, and decided, I was at home on my own, and I put this film on anyway. Robot and Frank. And for the first time in a long time, I watched a film that I found myself smiling. I'm watching it and I'm like smiling at the screen. All these, and then at the end, I got the opposite emotion. Um, like it was strange. I was actually a little bit upset when the robot, um, basically sacrificed himself. Well, the Frank, the old guy in it, his son basically gets him a robot to help him do stuff around the house. The robot's programmed to, make him live healthier and whatnot. And Frank basically hates this robot. The robot keeps doing things like making him healthy meals, and he's like, I don't want this, and despise the thing. But don't want to ruin it too much. But basically, the old man used to be a jewel thief, and there's a bit in it where uh, he's locked himself out or something, and they can't get this lock open. Anyway, the robot puts something in the lock, and gets this lock undone like in seconds. And Frank sees this, and light bulb moment, and basically, he starts developing a bit of a fondness for robot. It's always referred to as robot, but basically, the Frank hatches a plan, and the robot's like, well, I can't allow you to do this, Frank. And Frank's like, well, what if we just do like a dry run, like as if we're going to do it, but we don't do it. So the robot's like, okay then, Frank. So they start planning this like heist, and and Frank's like, wow, I haven't had this much fun for a long time, like, and this friendship starts evolving, and people seeing the robot as like a tool, but Frank sort of, it's just lovely how you can see his attitude changing, and then basically, yeah, at the end, Frank does something that he perhaps shouldn't have done, and everyone's on to him, and basically the one thing that Frank cannot hide or whatever is the robot's memory, and he was told right at the beginning that the robot can't be turned off, but yeah, the robot eventually says, you've got to turn me off, wipe my chip, whatever, and I thought, Frank's like, you're my friend, and I got really emotional, and by the end of that film, I was like, wow. I smiled, I laughed, I was engaged. Other characters in the film, he seems alright. He's a toss, it just, when you find out what happened and where they were going, and it was just a lovely little story, yeah, and I must, yeah, most enjoyment and emotion I had watching a film for many years. So, that's the only reason I'm making this video, to recommend, rather than the garbage we keep getting. And obviously now it's all, predominantly superheroes and science fiction or fantasy. We seem to be getting a lot of like military action type stuff as well, so it's just one of them. So I couldn't really put it in a sort of genre, really. It's just a lovely little story. I highly recommend it, and I think, yeah, give it a go. Robot and Frank. I'd be very grateful if you'd subscribe. If you want to hear more suggestions of some of these slightly older films, I've got a few in mind that I'd like to share with people. Leave a like, drop a comment, and as always, have a nice day and peace.